In the United States, it is sometimes common for students to ask teachers negative tag questions. Some examples of negative tag questions would be, "You are going to hand back the test, aren't you? We did learn about this technique before, didn't we? We are going to review before the quiz, aren't we?" Answering these types of questions can be difficult for native teaching assistants to answer, and even more difficult for non-native speakers. Let's take a look at a classroom where students are asking negative tag questions. We'll also look at how the TA responds to the negative tag.
Good afternoon, class. How are we today?
Good.
Good. Yes, Erin.
We are going to review before the test, aren't we?
Yes. No.
As we can see, the negative tag has confused the TA. Let's take a moment to learn about how to answer negative tag questions.
Now, let's first take a look at what exactly a tag question is. A tag question contains a short question added to the end of a positive or negative statement. Let's look at some basic examples. It's cold outside on campus today. Statement, isn't it? Question tag. Melissa did an English presentation in class. Statement, didn't she? Question tag. These types of questions are often found in daily English speech and are usually used to ask for some sort of confirmation from the listener. They carry a similar meaning to questions like, "Am I right?" or "Do you agree?" Let's look a little deeper at the structure of the tag question. We can have a positive statement followed by a negative tag, as in, "I heard Stony Brook is a great university. Didn't you?" Or, we can have a negative statement followed by a positive tag, as in, "You didn't do well on the exam. Did you?" Here are some general rules when forming tag questions. Copy the first auxiliary verb of the main sentence. The professor is leaving. Isn't he? If the main sentence is positive, add N''T. The professor is leaving. Isn't he? Add a pronoun referring to the subject of the main sentence. The professor is leaving. Isn't he? Now that we know what makes up a tag question, how do we answer them? Since these questions are answered differently in different cultures, it is best to avoid answering with a simple yes or no. Your answer should reflect the truth or real facts of the situation and not necessarily the question itself. And remember, keep the conversation going.
Knowing this information, let's see how the TA handles the same question now.
Good afternoon, class. How are we today?
Good.
Yes, Erin.
We are going to review before the test, aren't we?
We're going to have a quick review at the end. We're going to go over...
As one can see, the TA avoids answering the question with a simple yes or no. Instead, she ignores the negative part of the question and just addresses the question itself. This is the best way to answer this type of question because the listener or the student will not be confused. We hope we have helped you answer these types of negative tag questions. Remember, avoid answering yes or no, and be sure to keep the conversation going. Thank you.